This is Governor Wildstar and family. We're here to pretty much talk about our experience today. We went out to the Black Lives Matter Long Beach meeting and pretty much did some out loud speaking of what we thought would be a public forum, but turned out to be not as inviting as we thought. So we were just going over the experience again, just to pretty much give our own insights into the situation, because that's what this is really all about, is understanding each other and the fight that we're all dealing with, the struggles. And the struggles of black people right now is being accented as having an issue with police, especially with police brutality and them killing black people, which has spawned the Black Lives movement to get involved in our communities and demand change with about these deaths. So I pretty much sat there the whole time. All of us went together, and after the whole sermon or speaking or whatever, one of the organizers got up and asked if anybody had any questions at all, any concerns, and even asked the crowd how they were feeling. As a courtesy, I waited to see if anyone would speak, but then at the end, since no one was raising their hand, I did. And my concern mainly was to express to the Black Lives Matter movement about how their message can be basically thwarted and lost in its meaning, to where other people that are not black, that are dealing with the same issues, may end up feeling alienated. And as soon as I started to address this issue, which I feel like Black Lives Matter should definitely do their best to acknowledge in any way, shape, or form, before they go any further, especially when recruiting black people, because you can't just assume just because we're black, we're going to affiliate and throw our support behind some movement. So as soon as I brought this to their attention, I was immediately attacked with questions about why am I there?
Accused. Accused of working with the police.
Yeah, accused of working for the police as a infiltrator and provocateur or whatever I was called. But again, as soon as I was bringing up this information, and to pretty much just to let them know that if they really wanted to get to the root of the problem and rid themselves of police corruption, the best way to do that would be to attack it politically and get rid of our elected officials, whose responsibility involves the police and their conduct, which is the governor. And my proposal is to, again, attack Washington, not these superficial band-aids or remedies to make us think that things are going to be better, when really it's going to take months, even years, to even see any type of a difference, when we, the people, are demanding that change now. Especially those people that have been directly affected by these shootings of officers. I'm pretty sure that the families of Michael Brown and, all of those, again, black families that have lost their children would love to see that change in our government happening now. And that's what I and the People's Party Coalition are proposing, is that the way that we make this change now is by asserting ourselves politically. So my family was there, my wife was there, my brother, my sister, who's behind the camera right now.
That's me.
So we were all there, and since we were discussing things afterwards, I pretty much just felt like maybe we should capture the conversation. So I guess from there we'll pick it up.
Can you pause it for a minute?
So we're just going to talk a bit more about what happened. I figured since I did the majority of the talking just now, maybe we should hear from the other people that were there. How about you, Lady Wildstar?
Oh, well, basically, Nicholas Wildstar, or Governor Wildstar being himself, went up there and just, said how he felt. Because it was funny, I actually, was just talking to him about, it should be equality matters as opposed to Black Lives Matter. Because it's not just about Black lives that are at risk here, it's all lives. And he's like, hey, I agree with that. You know what I mean? So when he said that, I was just amazed at how they told him to, you know, get out. And, you know, just as my sister, you know, that she had said, hey, you know, it kind of exposes the truth of the real true people that are fighting for it. I mean, you know, you don't dismiss a great idea. I mean, you gotta have to say he has a point, even if you know, can we at least disagree to disagree, or, you know, agree to disagree. And they weren't really open to that. You know, if anything, they even used words like, you know, hey, nigga, you can't keep doing this around white people, this and that. And I believe that just perpetuates the race war just that much more. And there's lots of things,
especially the divide amongst black community.
Yeah, black community.
When they're supposed to be using the Black Lives Banner to unite us, when we can't even speak up for ourselves. You know?
Yeah. And then when he went outside and started talking, you know, we've actually had a lot more other races sit back and listen to him.
After I was thrown out.
After he was thrown out, yes.
Right.
Yeah, and he went out there and I
had a crowd of old white people standing around listening to me speak.
Yeah, not just old white. It was like another little Latin lady. She came up there.
But I'm saying, who was the first few?
Yeah, the first few.
And they were very kind, too.
They were very kind because they were open about what it is, you know, because we can't say, oh, white people is. I actually like them, too, because they're open-minded, you know what I mean? And they want to listen to something new, something that challenge your intellect. Why not, you know? And because it helps you expand, you know, or change your perspective sometimes, you know, and it's okay to do that, you know what I mean, and listen to it. But the other lady that was there, you know, I'll give her credit for, you know, trying to stand for something. She's made headlines. You know, she started the Black Lives Movement in Pasadena. I believe her name is Jasmine? Jasmine, I forgot her last name. But, you know, she was definitely, you know, passionate about, you know, how she felt, so. But yeah, after that, we were talking and we actually had an exchange of ideas, exchange of just, you know, different news that we haven't even heard about or we have heard about. One of the guys that were listening to Nicholas speak, he said, you know, some of the members, I believe the members in the police department, right? What was it? Members? They were Ku Klux Klan members that were in charge of where?
The police force, I believe.
Somewhere the police force.
Right.
Chief
of police.
Chief of police, and, you know, yeah, all of them. And they were, you know, just saying that kind of is
right. And he wasn't comfortable saying that in the actual meeting.
Right.
And the reason why he would, you know, wouldn't feel comfortable is because he felt he didn't have a place in Black Lives Don't Matter. If he had a place where everyone's lives matter, then
he would
probably
probably
more inclined
to speak up,
share about that without, you know, them feeling racist. Because the thing with white people, they want to back us up, but we get so, oh no, it's about black people. You don't know nothing. You know about our struggle, and we kind of get like that sometime, all up in the chest about it.
And I was even attacked on that level.
Yeah, and we're black. We got attacked.
I can't identify with the struggles of black men with police. And the woman that was accusing me of these things know nothing of my history. Don't know any of the personal struggles both my wife and I have endured with police brutality and for fighting for reform in the police department. You know, but this was all before Black Lives Matter came along, and I told her, I said, the reason why you don't know about me is because I'm not dead, you know? And that's the saddest part about all of this. Is as much as black people want to be angered about the killings and shootings in our black communities, black people know that this has been happening all day, every day. It's happening right now as you're watching this video. It's happening as we speak. You see what I'm saying? The only thing is not every case is publicized. Not all black people lose their lives in these conflicts with police. And do their lives not matter until there's some name on the wall? Or does their life matter beforehand? And that's pretty much what I'd like to say, is because, again, all lives matter. And as a black man, I speak to other people, Spanish people, white people, Asian people, because I live in a world that's not dominated by just black people. So of course I can't ostracize the people I interact with on a daily. that, of course, are not black. So when I speak to them about these issues and they say, well, yeah, I'm Spanish and I've been abused by the police, or I'm Asian and I've been abused by the police, you know, how do I help them identify with the struggles of what we're fighting for if the tagline is Black Lives Matter?
Because everyone is a victim.
Right, because everyone is a victim. And
everybody has a story, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Everybody does.
Right.
And if they don't, they may have someone they know that is going through it, you know what I mean? So it's just, it's sad that they, you know, that it has come to this, because it's kind of like, it actually, in a sense, I'm happy that people are getting together, but at the same time, it's like, what are you truly fighting for? You gotta make sure, you know, you put some thought towards, you know, these groups and organizations, you know, because you always want to question something where it actually promotes separation and division. You always want something that creates unity, oneness, you know, because we can all relate on that level, and there won't be any ifs, ands, or buts, or any confusion, no fights. We don't have to kick somebody outside. You know what I mean?
You want to know who you affiliate yourself
right.
with.
And we didn't feel welcome like that. We didn't feel welcome within our own community. So, you know, unfortunately for the Black Lives, you know, Matter, it's like, I see the police brutality, don't get it wrong, but I see it on all levels. I mean, and they spoke about homeless black people. I mean, we live in Orange County, so we see, you know, other homeless people. We went to Laguna Beach and saw, you know, lots of Caucasians homeless. We saw Latins homeless. We saw, you know, white people, everybody, we saw a lot of them homeless, actually more of them than black people.
Right.
And they're not, you know, they're only focusing on one statistic, you know, and staying within that box to where they can't, you know, look beyond that box and see there's other races that do it. And when we questioned it, they were just saying, oh, well, we talk to them too, it does matter, it's Asian lives matter, and then it's this matter. I'm like, no, why don't you just people matter? Let's, you know, and that's what they used against us. We're doing the 60s again. And,
change the title.
Yeah, you know, change, it's the title.
And even when I tried to bring up the comparison between the Black Lives Matter movement and the Black Panther Party, is because, again, it's identifying the struggles of our race with a particular party that has our name in it, Black. So as soon as that's put up as as the name of the group, of the organization, it's automatically going to be discriminatory for those that are not black.
Exactly.
You know? So you can't go into an auditorium where it's called Universal and propose a message that where
universal.
One group's struggles and strife and lives matter more than most. And of course, me being a black man, I identify with it more than anything. But I'm saying the message of what they're proposing can get lost, and it has gotten lost. Even the organizers themselves, they made a distinction between the grassroots Black Lives Matter movement protesters or activists versus the national committee, you know, which is funded by, you know, Koch brothers and have received, you know, donations from such types. So if I'm being told by the organizers that there's a distinction between the two, but again, the media doesn't make that distinction for us. When they talk about Black Lives Matter on the news or in newspapers or whatever, they don't say the national committee versus, you know, the grassroots activists. No, they couple them all under one umbrella. So for them to kind of lay it out to where I can't look at the actions of one group versus another when they both carry the same name makes it, raises an eyebrow for me, especially if I'm supposed to be somebody that they're looking for to get involved. So I'm pretty sure they felt the same way about getting involved with them. Desi, let's get you to talk in here.
Oh, well, I mean...
Come on. Go ahead.
I think that... Oh,
yeah, for sure.
All right.
I've talked enough. Let's
So
hear
my
from
sister,
y'all.
Yeah, so basically I got the youth in on this because we definitely want to promote more the young people to come in and, you know, have a voice, and because they're going to be the future. So it's very important for them to see how they, you know, how they feel about this. It's really important. And this is their first protest situation.
It was just like surprising to me how they just want to pose everything that you said and then turned into something else, saying that you were actually attacking them, which wasn't the case at all. Instead, you were just trying to voice your opinion, and you supported their whole speech.
Yeah.
You clapped and you just supported the whole thing. But then as soon as you opened your mouth to say something, they wanted to kick you out.
So how did that make you feel?
Well, it showed me that they were very close-minded, and their true colors really came out then.
Trying to program people. That's what I pretty much saw. Like you trying to program people, and they didn't get one person.
Yeah,
How so?
They have to send it out.
What do you mean by programming? Can you define that for us?
Well, basically, because they're like everybody they can't really voice their own opinion. And as soon as you open your mouth to say something contrary to, you know, what they're trying to get everybody to do, well, not necessarily get them to do, but you know, they're kind of afraid to speak their mind. But as soon as you try to speak your mind, they have to pull you outside and say that you're doing this, or you're part of the police, or whatever the case.
Yeah, he was accused for being part of the police. That was one of the first questions that she asked, and I was like,
yeah, she said, "Are you part of the police?" Yeah.
Like, no. First of all, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about afterwards when we were speaking to them? Do you feel like after speaking with them there's more of a resolution?
With them, no, because they were the ones who was running the whole thing. But everyone else kind of came to you after and saw what you were saying and agreed with it too. Even the person who was promoting the church.
Yeah, they were comfortable.
She wanted us to come back. She was like, "Yeah, next time, make an appearance. You know, just to kind of wake these people up."
Exactly. So as younger people, over 18, right?
Yes.
Both of you? All right. So being over 18, being being of voting age and seeing what's happening in our world right now, and with there being an election coming up next year, do you see yourselves getting involved in the next election?
Yes, definitely. I feel like we all need to come together and make some type of change, and then have more information about who we're voting for exactly.
Right. What about you, Dion?
Yeah, just aside from, you know, all the things you hear, probably just like do your own research, you know, find who's out there who actually really would probably support, the things that you actually believe in, or what kind of things that you want to make a change in. There's actually some people out there, so I'd say just keep doing research, keep yourself well informed, and then, you know, make a decision off of there.
Right, just don't follow the media.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So what about you, Lady Wildstar? How do you feel? Has Black Lives Mattered and the current events in our world inspired you to get involved in our next election?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, right here, right now, making the video. That's a start. You know, just sharing it with all of you guys.
Well, how is this video going to inspire more other people to get involved in our electoral process, especially when they feel disenfranchised, feel like black votes don't matter, and even if they do go to the voting polls, you know, they don't have an option. Anyone that's going to help us, especially when it comes to fighting police corruption. So.
Really what it is just research. You know what I mean? You just have to research whatever you have the passion for, whatever you're sick and tired of doing, and you're sick and tired of getting pulled over, you're sick and tired of doing, like, you know, paying tags, registration forms, whatever you're sick and tired of, and whatever you're passionate about, research it and see what ways you can kind of reverse it. And one way is to protest, and then, you know, like you said, to go to the voting booths, and there's also talk to other people, connect, network, see what other people's thoughts on things are. You know, there's tons of social media and network outlets to look up and connect with. You know, and also don't look on the main front page when you vote, because they always have the ones that pay the most money again. You know, because Nicholas, you know, Governor Wildstar was on the ballot, and then they put him on the other paper ballot and all that other stuff. So think outside the box, you know what I mean? Not always in the box where they tell you, like, oh, these three choices. but there's always going to be more. And if you don't see it there, be sure to inform the person working the booth or the voter place, whatever, you know, to provide that list for you. So it's a matter of just digging and researching and connecting, and, you know, whatever your passion is, what you want to change, because this is affecting not only us, but it's affecting our parents, and we've seen it, you know, they're kind of the brainwashing, and then we also see it in our youth, and this is our future, you know what I mean? So
that's how they keep control.
Yeah,
Right.
and also you have to think about if you want to have kids one day. Do you want to raise kids in this type of society? So of course, you know, voting, talking, videotaping, you know, anything you can. I mean, you got a camera on your phone, you know what I mean? It's right there for you to do this, you know what I mean? And they use it just to, hey, just watch Kim Kardashian or Nicki Minaj and stuff like that. But you can use it to also to benefit the whole, you know, by just speaking and opening your mind and, you know, just sharing your ideas. We all come from different walks of life. We all do. That's why we're even making this video now to say all lives matter. We're definitely for all lives matter because we bleed the same blood. And just as I gave them an example of those people out there, if they needed like a lung or some kind of blood transfusion or transplant or something like that, they're not going to worry about black lives or a black person donating that. They're going to say, give me whoever. I don't care if they're green, purple, blue. Give me the extra heart because I needed to live and survive. So we have to look at it like that. We need people, all of us, so we can make the movement and survive. Because white people are for European, they think we're crazy right now because they're like, why are you guys allowing them to shoot you dead in the street like that? They're making comments clear across the, you know, the world. So apparently they see the injustices. So it's not just black lives, you know what I mean? It's everybody. So that enough should, you know, propel us to do something. You know what I mean? And we have a voice, let's use it.
Exactly. Well, thank you all again for coming with me today and for letting me make this video of you all.
Oh yeah, also tell the audience what church or what place, you know, that they held it at, so they know what we're talking about, because it's not just a religious church.
Yeah, it was called the Universal something.
A Unitarian Universalist or something.
Yeah, basically a church of all faiths. So the venue itself seemed very inviting, which is why I chose to go there, and pretty much hope that it would have been a public forum where we could express our point of views openly, but that tended not to be the case. So I'll continue looking for them. I'll continue fighting to create them. And right now, again, me, Governor Wildstar, and the people that I work with, who will remain anonymous, are creating the People's Party Coalition, and we would love for you to join us. So if you would like to, just find me. I'm easy to find. All you got to do is visit my website, governorwildstar.com, and keep in touch. Love you all, and may the light of love and God and liberty burn in each and every one of you. God bless.
We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.